What's up, guys? Here for the Week 8 review here. You guys are getting it on Tuesday. I'm going to the Hornets game tomorrow night, so I won't be able to do it tomorrow night. I believe next week, as of right now, it'll be out on Wednesday. And then the week after that, I think it'll be out on Tuesday. But furthermore, let's get into it. I have my matchup here versus Philip. I won this one 122 to 118. I was able to squeak it out with the kicker on Sunday night, so I was pleased with that. Looking at my team here, Drew Brees kind of sucked, honestly, in my opinion. Got me 12 points. Jerick McKinnon with 23. I got 18 out of Jimmy Graham. He finally had a big game this year. And I did get 27 out of the Ravens defense, so that's really what really helped my team there. I did have Marlon Mack on the bench, who had 14. Maybe some duds. I would say Brandon Cooks with 5 points, Devontae Freeman with 6. Some struggles there. Everybody else was about normal. Looking over here at Phillips' team, he had a lot of guys in double digits. 5, 6. He had 8 players in double digits this week. Starting with Kirk Cousins with 11, Tevin Coleman with 11, Alex Collins with 15, AJ Green with 10, Kelvin Benjamin with 11. Jamison Crowder with 18, Isaiah Crowell with 18, and Will Lutz with 10. Did have Alex Smith on the bench with a 13.4. So I would have increased his score if he would have played him over Kirk Cousins by, it's like 2.9. But that still would have left him a little bit short there. So, at least he can rest easy knowing that. He does have Kelvin Benjamin on his team, and for those of you that haven't seen, he has been traded from the Panthers to the Bills today for, I believe, a 3rd and a 7th round pick. Not really sure why the Panthers did that. My guess, I don't know what his contract situation is like. My guess is maybe his contract is up at the end of this year or next year, and they just don't want to pay him. So, he's a big name. He really hasn't produced the way, in my opinion, the way people think he should be able to. So, maybe a change of scenery will do better for him. We'll see how that works out there. Let's see. The next matchup we have here is Dakota versus Joseph. Joseph won this one 121 to 105. We'll look at Dakota's team here. He had Carson Wentz with 17. Le'Veon Bell got 13. Michael Thomas with 11. Ezekiel Elliott got 26. Vikings got 10. Gostkowski with 12. Did have LeGarrette Blount on the bench, who had basically 12 as well. Some not so bright spots in his lineup. Kareem Hunt only managed 8. Dez Bryant with only 6. He played Willie Snead, who got 0. Jordan Reed with 1. So that's where his team kind of struggled there. If we look over here at Joseph's team, Tyrod Taylor with 17, LaShawn McCoy with 26, Jeffrey with 15, Macklin with 13, Matt Bryant had 14. Did have Derek Carr on the bench, who had 12.5, so he made the right decision there at quarterback. And, I wouldn't really say any duds in his lineup. Landry got 6 points basically, but everybody else produced, pretty adequate in my opinion. Next up, we have Dalton versus Ray Sr. Dalton won this matchup 135 to 94. We'll start here looking at Dalton's team. He had Alvin Kamara with 15, DeAndre Hopkins with the huge game with 32, Juju Smith-Schuster with a huge game as well with 29. Gronk got 14, and a big game out of the Kansas City kicker with 21. Did have Matt Breida on the bench, who had basically 14. Some duds in his lineup. Winston got 4. Diggs basically only had 5. Dolphins defense got 3 because they got blown out 40-0. Look over here at Ray Sr.'s team. Tom Brady with 18. Jordan Howard with 14. Sanu with 16. Tate with 10. And Philadelphia kicker Elliott with 10. Had Marvin Jones on the bench, who had 16. So, could have gave him a few more points here or there. Some duds in his lineup. I would say maybe Deshaun Jackson with 5. Obviously, the Steelers defense only gave 0 points there. So that definitely hurt him there. Next up, we have Phil versus Michael. Phil won this one 116 to 105. Phil's team, he had Dalton with 19, Lamar Miller with 21, Antonio Brown had 10, Kyle Rudolph with 12, Robbie Anderson with 20, Justin Tucker with 12, had Big Ben on the bench with 14.5, so he played the right quarterback there. Latavius Murray only got him 5, Tyreek Hill with 3. Those are kind of the only duds in his lineup, in my opinion. Looking over here at Michael's team, he had Cam Newton with 13, Joe Mixon with 10, DeAndre Washington at 17, Adam Thielen with 18, and Matt Prater gave him 18 as well. Nothing to speak of on his bench. Everybody was on bye, suspended, or injured out of those guys. Some duds in his lineup. I would say Wendell Smallwood got him 2 points. He went in with basically 5. I mean, everybody else produced pretty much normal. I mean, you would like to get more than 9 points out of Mike Evans, but it's a tough day there in Tampa. Their defense can't stop anybody, and their offense, Jameis Winston, is just, in my opinion, not really that good, and he's dealing with an injury as well. So, let's see. Next up, we have Ray versus George. This was the closest matchup of the week here. George pulled this one out 116.3 to 115.6. I know Ray had a couple guys going on Monday night, and they couldn't quite get him enough points to give him the victory there. So we'll start here looking at Georgia's team. He had Matt Ryan with 16, Frank Gore with 12, Zach Ertz with 11, Travis Benjamin had 16, even though he ran in the end zone on the punt and gave up a safety. Panthers had 15, Adam Vinatieri put up 11, and I'm just checking here to see. I don't believe he got negative points for going in the end zone on that punt either. I'm sure the special teams did, but not him personally. On his bench, he had Hooper, who had 13 points there, so he could have got a couple more points. Some duds in his lineup. Really nobody. I mean, everybody seemed to play, pretty much what I would expect, in my opinion. Looking over here at Ray's team, he had Deshaun Watson with 33. Will Fuller gave him 27. Bengals defense was 14, so only had 3 guys in double digits this week, so that definitely hurt him there. Nothing going on his bench. Some duds in his lineup. I would say Hunter Henry with 2 points. It's a dud. Not much else in my opinion. I mean, I don't really know what he expected out of Benny Fowler. He got base 4.5 points. You can't expect a ton there. And, obviously Amari Cooper gave him 7.7. Had a huge week last week, but 7 points is kind of what he's been giving you for the most part in the season, I believe. I'll look at that here. He's averaging 9.5, but, several weeks he's, scored less than 2 points. So, I guess you can't expect a big week from him all the time. And then the last matchup we have here is Garrett versus David. And I know Garrett won this matchup. It was 128 to 77. So probably the biggest blowout of the week. I'm looking at Garrett's team here. Hold on. I think I guess I clicked on something to adjust scoring. I don't need to adjust anybody's scoring. All right, here we have Garrett's team. He had Russell Wilson with 35, Melvin Gordon with 20, Crabtree with 11, Travis Kelce gave him 23, Chiefs defense gave him 18. He had Stafford on the bench with 18, so he played the right quarterback. Also had kicker on the bench with 16. He forgot to put him in the lineup, but his team pulled through, and it did not make a difference whatsoever there. If it would have made a difference, or the game, or if he would have lost, something like that, I would harp on it more. But he basically won by like 50 points, so I'm not going to really concern myself with that. I can't quite remember what the tiebreakers are for playoff seeding, but it would be quite funny if he lost the seed, if it went by points for by 16 or less points, based on that situation there. A couple players to mention on his team. He has Jay Ajayi, who, as most of you guys probably know at this point, was traded from the Dolphins to the Eagles today. Some think that'll increase his fantasy value a lot. I think it increases it some. I don't think he'll get the same kind of workload in Philly that he was getting in Miami, but I do. Obviously, he is on a better team. He will have definitely more opportunities to score touchdowns. I don't believe he'll get the ball as much. The coach there likes to do a lot of running back by committee. So my guess is he'll probably see 12 to 15 carries a game, and he definitely will see some of the goal line work. I'm sure he'll be splitting some of that with LeGarrette Blount. So that could be a tough situation there, but I definitely think it's better than what he had going in Miami. He also has Devin Funchess on his team, who Kelvin Benjamin was traded today, so that basically essentially moves Funchess into the number one receiver role in Carolina. That could produce some more targets for him, but that also means he's going to be guarded by the other team's number one corner in most cases. And I don't personally believe Funchess is that good of a receiver, nor do I believe Cam Newton is a great quarterback either to get him the ball. So we'll see how that pans out there. I don't really think it decreases his value or increases his value. I personally think it's going to stay relatively the same. And then if we look over here at David's team, he had Mark Ingram with 15, Chris Thompson with 11, Tyler Lockett gave him 15, and he did have Phillip Rivers on the bench who had 11, so could have got a couple more points there playing him over Dak. Some sore spots in his lineup. T.Y. Hilton with 3 points, and he did play the Texans defense, who got him -4. So that wraps up everything here. I will have power rankings up on the page, for you guys to view. I'm sure there'll be some changes there. I know currently I am sitting in first place. I'm on a 7-game winning streak. Garrett's right behind me at 6-2, and then we have 3 teams at 5-3, a couple at 4-4, and then the rest of you guys trailing up the rear there. Trying to hopefully some of you guys get on the winning ways, and we can have a very interesting playoff picture coming up. Obviously, waivers were processed for the first time tomorrow at noon. I know there's going to be some interesting pickups. Obviously, Ezekiel Elliott's got a suspension in place. I know he's trying to get it overturned. We'll see how that goes. Morris and McFadden are already picked up in this league. With Ajayi leaving, that opens up a few Dolphins running backs. So we'll see who's able to snatch those guys up. And we'll see how things go. Obviously, a lot of you guys don't have any money, so it's not going to be easy for any of you guys that are broke to be able to afford any of these guys. So see how things go. Good luck to everybody heading to Week 9.